the changes we were talking about, the changes to the input. This 47 and the 470K coming straight off of these is going to get changed to a 0.01 and a 1 meg. That is right here. So there's my three inputs, my 368Ks. 1, 2, 3. And then they jump through this 0.4047 over to here, and that is my 200, or that's my 470K going to ground. That is coming out, that is coming out, that's a 0.01 is going in there, and a 1 meg is going there, and then that will take care of that. Then we'll worry about gutting all of this. Another thing I want to do while I'm here, that was a 2. That is this guy right here. That's going to get replaced with a 15. And then that was also a 2, feeding the interstitial transformer. I believe it's that one. It might be this one over here. It's a little harder to see, but I'm pretty sure it's that one. And that's going to get changed out to a 15. So 0.01, 1 meg, 15U, 15U, and then all of that is coming out. Changed out that capacitor, so that's a 0.01. Changed out that resistor, that's a 1 meg. And I changed out this 0.02 for a 15. So between this, already, I should have more low end of this. So just for giggles, I have it turned on. I've got it plugged in. I've got, let's see, pretty much set where it was before. The treble's on 5, bass is on 8. Let's see what this thing sounds like. Let's see if I got any more low end to it or not. I haven't tried this. Something that sounds kind of sort of almost approaching bottom end, but not really. All right, more work to go. More for to do. All right, so it's actually turned out to be this cap over here, excuse me. I thought it was that one. This must be the bypass cap coming off of the reverb recovery. Actually, in a weird way, that actually sends to the reverb. It's different than what's on the schematic, but at any rate, that's the cap that's feeding the phase inverter transformer. So now that I changed that one as well for more low end, let's turn this thing on and see if I actually have any low end. Definitely got some beef to it now. Wow, listen to that, some warmth. And where are my controls? Oh my God, that's sitting at 4. Let's put it at 5. I'm going to put the tone, the treble and the bass at 5. Carries to lower volumes. Still get that weird mid-range boost rather than low-end boost. That is so weird. All right, well, at least my theory is turning out to be correct. I need to finish the job and put that new tone stack in, and we'll really have something going on here. But I just beefed it up. I think you could even hear that, even with the phone. You know, the phone. All right, let's see. So what's next? Where's my glasses? Here they are. So what's next? What have I done? Change that out. Where you at? Change that out. Change that guy. Change that guy. Before and after. All right. Time to take all of that out. I got two. Again, these are like 2 meg pots. This is the weird one with the tap. You see that the capacitor coming off a tap down here. That's just bizarre. Going to ground. This ground rail. I'm going to see how much of this I can build up on the pots before I put it in here, but I'm probably going to have to build the whole thing in here. So anyway, that volume, treble, and bass are now coming out. That's going away. That's going away. Whatever this is probably going away. And that's that. So that's next. Let's see what happens now. All right, so it's done. I had a little rough time finding places for all this stuff. I could shoot myself. Somehow or other, I did not buy a 680 picofarad capacitor. They must have been out. But I had a 560 in my stash, so I'm using that. And I have to come off of this same hole here, and I have no place to land it, so it's kind of flapping up here, but that's coming into here, and then I got all my jumpers over here, and then the 150K, which is right here, goes to this lead, but it's got to go to 2 different places. So this lead, you know, it's going to 2 different places over here, and the 6.8K to ground, I got ground over here, so I just jumpered that over there. As it turns out, I put this 1 meg for the reverb on the wrong leg. I put it over here. It needs to come over here to the volume, but I can change that. But meanwhile, to actually see if this thing works, bass. Bass actually works in the treble. If I turn that down all the way. So the bass is up all the way, the treble's down all the way. now both are up all the way. Alright, so I'm going to hit them both more or less in the middle here. I don't have the knobs on, so it's a little hard to tell where I'm actually at, but I think right about there should be middle for the bass, and right about there should be middle for the treble. And I'm going to just start turning it up. So overall, I think the operation was successful. I think I need to do some tweaking, get the right value picofarad cap here. I might have to play with these values a little bit, and there's a kind of a clicky. The pick, you know, you get a lot of pick attack, and that could be the bias of this first preamp tube. That could easily be that. So I got some tweaking to do, but generally it already sounds a whole lot better. And I might even put in a negative feedback to kind of keep that clean up to about 5 or 6. Because right now it starts getting dirty right around 3, I think. I don't know. tweaking to come. All right, so things are looking a little different now. I actually completed the very first, you know, what I showed you as far as the tone stack goes. Had it all in here, and I didn't really like the way it sounded. I mean, it was a success in the fact that, yay, it worked just the way I wanted it to. It did exactly what I wanted it to, but I just didn't like the way it came out. Let's see, I was getting a lot of buzzy overdrive. I thought it was grid distortion, and I put in figured out a couple ways to test that, and I didn't, you know, it wasn't that. So I just went back to the drawing board, so to speak, and looked at Fender's tone stack. One of the things I failed to mention was why I thought the sound was so bad with my flat EQ curve that I had to change it to something else. I had mentioned that I had only got the volume up, the loudness volume gain up to 3 before it started to distort. And it wasn't all that loud, honestly. So it means that I'm pushing a lot of mids, is what that means. So what I have to do is either reduce the volume greatly, or the low end, which is what Gibson did. They took all the low end out of it so it wouldn't distort at 3. But I want all of that. So the only other thing to do would be to suck out all the mids, which is driving the amp. And the tone controls didn't really work as well as I thought they would, because again, there was so much mids driving the amp It was just getting in the way of the tone controls. And the buzzing that I'm hearing sounds like grid distortion. And as you look at a picture of the output transformers, you can see that they're all very small. And so it wouldn't take much, I would think, to saturate these transformers. So suck out all the mids. At first I was going for something flat because I wanted something more vintage sounding. I didn't want it to sound like a Fender. Back in the old days, it was Leo Fender that devised a useful tone control. Up until that point, it was just an amplifier. You know, if you had a tone control, it rolled off the high end. And so I wanted to keep it vintage in that sense of keep it flat, which is, I think, what Gibson would have done. But it makes for a terrible sounding amplifier, so that's why I decided I'm going to scoop this. This is actually rigged up as a test jig here. This is not permanent, although that is. That probably is. That is. I should say what I did here. This is the 1 meg to ground coming off the inputs. I just got rid of the cap altogether. It wasn't needed and brought everything over here. That's my tone shaping slope for the tone stack. This is a little rigged up, but it actually works very well for tone stack, volume bypass cap, treble bleed, I should say. And you know, more tone stack stuff over here. Problem is that I needed this to go to 2 different places, and I don't have any lugs, so I had to run a lead out here and cloist it together like this, and then run it to 2 different places. It's a little bizarre, but once I tighten it up, it'll be tight. This is just a test rig, and this actually has the same scoop as the Fender does, but it's 4 dB louder, and it has a more narrow bell on it, so it's more of a narrow scoop on it, and you know, this is with the tone controls and the volume and everything on 5. Volume up all the way. And that's the neck pickup, bridge. About the tone controls, the bass. Here, let's see if I can do this. Starts cupping in right there. And that's pretty fat right there. Both knobs, both tone controls all the way up. Volume's still somewhere in the middle. Everything all the way up. That's the neck. Let me back up on that treble a little bit. think it sounds a whole lot better than it used to. I still may do a little bit of tweaking here and there, and I may, who the hell knows, put the actual Fender circuit in there. I don't know, but I like playing with it, and it sounds better every time I screw around with it. So I think I'm onto something. I might roll off some of that high end. I might even take off that bridge treble bleed. To me, it's a little squeaky when you get up to the top side here. But anyway, that's where I am so far. Coming right along.